guys. Hello everybody out there. I hope everybody's okay. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in into the channel and taking some time to listen to the video. I'm sure some of you are wondering what happened. I just disappeared. Yes, I did, guys, and it was not intentional. It was not, guys. I just recovered from a terrible flu. It was so bad, my voice was gone, so I couldn't even do anything. So thanks God I've recovered. I'm back to myself and I can finally sit down and then we continue with what we were talking about. Come to think of it, it's amazing what we can do with our voices, and these are the things sometimes we take it for granted until it's taken away from you. Yeah, so anyway, without wasting any time, guys, first things first, for those who doesn't know me, for those who are tuning in into the video for the first time, my name is Zola. I'm an international educated nurse. I just moved to BC in Canada. Actually, it's amazing. Soon I'll be finishing 1 year. Time flies. I can't believe it, baby steps, but we're getting there. Anyway, guys, as you've already seen today, as I already wrote on the video, the title of the video, today I want to be talking about IEN'S and IGA. International educated nurses, you already know what is IGA and you know what is IEN'S, okay? Anyway, if you haven't looked, IEN'S is National Nursing Assessment Services and IGA is Inspire Global Assessment, okay? So what I want to talk about today, I want to talk about what's the difference between the two. What does IEN'S do? What does IGA do? Do I need to open an account with both of them, or only just one is enough? So these are the things we're going to unpack today a little bit. And please, I do also, guys, advise you now and then do check the websites, because the colleges, they're constantly changing the websites. They are constantly changing the pathways, making things easy for each and every one of us. So now and then also do and check and see what's happening. Maybe the last time I checked, maybe the information has changed. So if I do say something and you find something different, I apologize in advance. As I already said, that the colleges, they are constantly changing things, making things easy for each and every one of us. So let's take that, as a bonus. So number one, IEN'S. IEN'S is National Nursing Assessment Services. This is the first step you will do as an IEN when you apply for a nursing registration in Canada. Okay, so IEN'S is there to assess, the equivalence of your basic nursing training, whether it is equivalent to the training in Canada, whether you're gonna need some remedial courses or you're gonna need to do a bridging course or whatever you need to do. So this is the purpose of IEN'S. On the other side, IGA mainly does skills assessment. So that's the two differences between the two of them. So that is why you're going to find out most colleges, you have to start with IEN'S. Then after IEN'S, they will refer you to IGA, because the other one is for mainly your training. The other one is for the skills assessment. Since most of us, we don't have any nursing skills in Canada, we have never worked in Canada, so they want to assess our skills to see whether we need maybe a course just for skills only or a course for theory as well. So that's the difference between the two. But having that said that, when I was just checking the BC on their website, I find that BC have actually changed the process. You no longer need to go to IEN'S. You directly apply, you open an account with IGA, that is the Inspire Global Assessment. So meaning that they will assess both your theory and your practice together. Then they get the report. Of which I think this is a bonus, guys. It's a bonus. If really BC is doing away with IEN'S, take this as an opportunity. Don't let this opportunity goes by. With me, when I did my application with BC, I started with IEN'S. After IEN'S, I went to IGA. Those days, it was not even called IGA. It was called NCAS, like National Community Assessment Services. That is what it was called when I did. But it seems like now they actually maybe renamed the program. Is no longer called NCAS. It's called IGA, but it does exactly the same thing. So I would really encourage you guys, to, make use of this if really BC is no longer using NCAS. Remember, when you open your account, with NCAS and IGA, both of them, you need to pay. There's a fee that you pay. It doesn't mean that if you pay for NCAS, and then when they say that, okay, now we need you to assess your skills, you don't pay. You still need to pay. And when I did my assessment with IGA, I will say IGA because I don't want to confuse it with NCAS that doesn't exist anymore. So when I did my assessment with IGA, I paid $2,000. That was a lot. I don't want to lie, guys. I really felt that. It was quite a lot of money to pay, and unfortunately, it is what it is. Sometimes you just have to do that. So really make use of that. Grab this opportunity. If you want to come to BC, go to IGA, start your application process. Actually, BC, they encourage you to do it concurrently. Once you open your account with IGA, they also encourage you to open an account with the nursing college, concurrently. Because there are some documents that they will require from you, as well as also maybe IGA will require some documents from you, so that to send them at the same time, so that immediately once the BC receives your report, already they've completed all the other documents. That also, fast track the process. So as I'm encouraging people who are interested to really make use of this. I'm in BC, I've done the process. I know, what I'm talking about. So really, I would encourage you to do that. Even if BC is not your choice, you feel like, oh, BC, I don't want to be in BC. I want to be in Toronto. We know that Toronto is the heartbeat of Canada, right? Everybody would love to be in Toronto. Even myself, Toronto was my primary, college. When I did my application, I wanted to be in Toronto. But eventually, where am I? I'm in BC and I'm happy, so, and once you are here, when you've got your nursing license, it's easy to just, apply to another college. So don't feel that if you are in BC, you will not end up in your college of choice or in your province of choice. You can. So just, make use of the opportunities that are there. It's very, very nice, guys. So, and then, but I see that other colleges like the College of Nova Scotia, the College of New Brunswick, and the others, they still use IEN'S, the National Nursing Assessment Services. They also use IGA, but IGA is the second step for them. It's only BC that uses directly IGA as their first step. That's why I'm saying it's a bonus, guys. Whereas the other colleges, you still need to do the IEN'S. After IEN'S, they will still refer you to IGA, so that IGA will do your skills or your psychomotor assessment. So that's good. So, but also if you have you've already opened your account with IEN'S, just see, because I can't do it anymore, if you can still add BC as your other province if you haven't selected it. So no harm. And maybe you can even drop them an email, the college, to ask them, say, hey, I've already opened my account. Will you take an advisory report from IEN'S, or I must only deal with IGA? You can always communicate with the colleges. They are very, supportive, and they will respond to inquiry. So, but it's quite nice, guys. So, what it has, as already said, IEN'S is for equivalence of training, to see whether it fits, it's equivalent with the basic Canadian nursing training. But now IGA is mainly for your skills assessment. Those who trained in my time in South Africa, I'm not sure, guys, my colleagues from other countries, how do you guys call it in your colleges? But for us, it was called OSCE. OSCE, this is whereby you walk into the big room. Then there are different stations. These stations, they cover basically all the whole, stages of nursing, like general nursing, midwifery, whatever, general medical, surgical, all the skills that are required for your basic nursing, training. So you walk in there will be a scenario, then you do what you're supposed to do. You might have to catheterize a patient, put an NG, check a chest tube, all those things, just to make sure that the critical points of each station you meet. So that is what IGA does. But as you know that in our days, Dominicans were not talking, there was nothing like that. But nowadays, we know that with the simulation, they use all these high fidelity mannequins. Made that the mannequin can be cyanotic. You will see that, oh my goodness, now my patient is cyanotic. I need to do something. The mannequin can cough, for choking, aspiration, mannequin can complain of pain, the mannequin can communicate with you. It's very interesting, the mannequins today. So they use all these high fidelity mannequins. That is what they do with IGA. Yes, some stations, there will still be people because you still can't do away with the people. Like myself, when I did my own assessment, it was a combination of like real people and mannequins, but it's quite interesting, guys. So it's just OSCE. That's all I'm talking about. You don't have to worry about it. We've done OSCEs, in many parts, or most of the time we do OSCEs. We're always doing OSCEs in nursing. We're always doing drills, it's that kind of a thing. So that's the difference between IEN'S and IGA. So what happens now, going back to IEN'S? So you've done your thing with IEN'S. You have paid your money, the fee, when you open your account. Then when you open your account, IEN'S automatically in your account, all the documents that they require, automatically they will be downloaded. Okay, it will enable you to document and, print all the documents that they require. Most of all these documents, these are the documents you need to submit yourself to the college where you did your basic nursing training, in the country where you did your nursing training. Most of them, they are just asking for transcripts, of your thingy, of your nursing education, including to send it to our South African Nursing Council or whatever you gained your wherever license you hold. So this is what it is. So you send them by yourself. Of course, even there, you still need to pay the fee for you to get the transcripts. But in South Africa, the fee is reasonable. Really, it's not that much. And I got mine from the College of Western Cape College of Nursing. And they were so supportive, very supportive, including the director of the college, extremely supportive. The consultants that I was dealing with, extremely supportive. They will send the documents. The documents will not be sent to you. They will send the documents directly to IEN'S, or, to the, not IEN'S, sorry, to IEN'S. That's why they will send the reports. They will not come to you. Some of them, they might share, they might CC you so that to keep you on the loop, so that you know what has been sent, what has been missing. So what happens, the registration consultant or who's assessing your file with the IEN'S, what they normally do, they will communicate with you once they start working in your file. Anything missing, they will let you know that this and that is missing. It is your responsibility again to go back to your college where you did your initial nursing training to say, this and that is missing. Can you please attend to that? Or if the document, for whatever reasons, of which the reasons are always not intentional, maybe they miss a date or something, or there's a typo error, all those things they will communicate with you, and as your consultant will be talking to you, you communicate with the college. IEN'S will not communicate with the college. They will always communicate with you. It's your responsibility to communicate with your college. So there's always, it's like a triangle kind of a communication. Okay? So otherwise, but they are very supportive, the nursing colleges. I never actually had any issue with that. The only issue I had was receiving my transcripts with the University of South Africa. I struggled. Of course, even with them, it was not intentional. Remember, they deal with how many students asking for transcripts, in the university. So, but at the end of the day, for me, I ended up using my basic nursing training for my 4-year diploma course. So I ended up, I said, maybe I can use my UNISA training at a later stage, because really it was back and forth, no beginning or no end, and I was running out of time. It takes about 1 year for IEN'S to keep your file open. So that's why you need to, keep on track, keep checking your file, but you can't do anything until your consultant or whoever is working with your file contact you. You can't do anything. there is no communication, they will be the one to, initiate communication between IEN'S and you about the status or the progress of your application. So, but it's easy once you do that, at least you know who to communicate to, even if you want to do some follow-up. So, even if it has to, go beyond 1 year, most of the time, if the delay is not, your fault, they won't really ask you to pay or to reactivate the account. But keep an active communication. They must see that also you are doing something on your part. You can even CC them when you're talking to your consultant at your country of where you did your training. You can also CC your consultant with IEN'S so that they can see that, yes, you are communicating with them, okay? And you are just waiting maybe from for the feedback. And then once everything is done, they've got all your transcripts, they've got everything, confirmation of your registration with your nursing council, everything. Then they will send it what they call advisory report. This is a report that will send it to the College of Nursing where you want to be registered in Canada. As I already said before, preferably please do 2 provinces. Don't just only do 1 province, because somehow one province will help you to fast forward another province. Not that it's a way of cheating, but it helps. When you are stuck somewhere, the other one is moving somewhere, at least it gives you some kind of hope. So they will send you. But to send a report to the second province, there's a little money that you need to pay. It's not much. I can't remember. Of course, guys, it was quite a few years back when I did all that. And things change. Prices go up. I cannot tell you that. And unfortunately, I can't see now the prices because I have to now register and I can't register anymore. I've already completed that process. So, and then IEN'S, as I said, IEN'S sent the advisory report. You will also see your report. You will also have a copy of your report. And then you will tell them where to send the report, okay? And then once the college receives the report, then they will assess, they will see where there is maybe some deficiency, either in the knowledge or the skills. If there's some deficiency, now this is whereby they might refer you to IGA, that is Inspire Global Assessment. Now this is where the OSCE part, because now they're dealing mainly with the skills. IEN'S was more on training, now we're dealing with the skills. So you will go there, do the skills assessment, same thing. Mainly for IGA, when I did mine, there were no documents like transcripts, nothing. It was just for me to come there, demonstrate the skills, as I already said, in the OSCE room, using the high fidelity mannequins, and that's it. Okay, it took it's very quick. It was like a 4-hour thing. It took us 4 hours and we're done. Okay, so then after that, they will compile all the report. Then they will send the report as well to the College of Nursing where you applied for your registration. So now, once the college receives all this, they will compile it together and then they will come up with a decision to say, okay, are we offering, giving her the license? Do we need her to do any kind of course, bridging, whatever they require you to do? To make an example, in my situation, when BC received my report from IEN'S and also from IGA, so I was given 3. They came up with 3 requirements that I needed to fulfill for me to be granted my nursing registration. I had to do 2 courses. Both of them, they were 1 week each, so total of 2 weeks, the courses that I needed to do in order for me to fulfill the requirements. And then the third one, I needed 250 of clinical hours since I did not have any nursing experience, bedside nursing experience in Canada. So I needed to do 250 hours. It was equivalent up to like 2 months. Okay, so this is what I did. Then they will refer you to the university that is responsible for this, because the college, they don't do that, okay? But there are some universities that they work collaboratively with in order to assist you. So from there, you will approach the college. They already know. You will send them the letter, the letter that you received from the College of Nurses to say, so these are the requirements. Then you also again open an account, create an account with the college that you use. Me, I use KPU. KPU, this is it's called Kwantlen Polytech University. This is the university that I utilize. I can't remember what was the second one that they gave me, but the other one, it was taking longer. The courses were very long compared to KPU. KPU was very, very nice and short and sweet. And I stayed here for, was it 2 weeks? I came here, I stayed for 2 weeks. One course, I did one first week, first course, second week, another one. I wrote my exams, I passed and I left. And that's it. Then I came again for another one for my 250 hours of clinical practice because it takes a while, to get a slot. The slots, they go out just like this. Once they open for the slots, it takes less than 1 hour. The slots will be gone. So, but you will know when the slots will be available. And of course, you need to plan, the time off from your work. You need money, because you're going to be staying here. If you are doing like me, the whole process outside Canada. So I had to plan because you don't have accommodation. You need to be staying Airbnbs, whatever, and that's expensive for 2 months. You need flight tickets. You need to pay for this, 250, it's a lot of money, it's a lot of money. I don't want to, just say it's this and that because really I can't remember that much and I don't want to be giving you false information, but you do pay. So you need to prepare yourself for that one. So the 2 weeks costs were quite reasonable. They were less than $1,000, so it was quite reasonable. But the one for the skills, it was quite, expensive. So yeah, so this is what happens. So, and then as well, once you finish all the 3 or whatever recommendation that they ask you to do, requirements, once fulfilled, then the university that you have selected by yourself, then also they will send a report to the college to say, okay, she completed, she passed, she's done. Then after that, once you do that, then that is the time you will be eligible to write the NCLEX, the national exam that you need to write. It's written by all nurses, whether you trained in Canada, outside Canada, everybody write the NCLEX. In my situation, I did my NCLEX before when I came for the other courses, other requirements, I wrote my NCLEX. How I wrote my NCLEX, I was cleared by the College of Nurses of Ontario. Okay, you get my point? That is why I'm saying that please do not just only stick into one college. One college will assist you to push you up. So immediately when I was done with all these requirements for BC, my NCLEX was already done. NCLEX is done once. Whether you did it because it was cleared, you got the clearance from Ontario, all you do, there are some forms you will complete and then you'll ask Ontario to send your results to another college. So that's what I did. So automatically once then I said, hey Ontario, please give BC my results of my NCLEX. They got my results, done. I got my license. You see? So that is the reason, please don't just stick into one. One will help you to move up, fast, the next thing you'll be holding your license. And as you could see until today, I still don't have a license for Ontario, but I wrote their NCLEX, but I don't have their license. Why? Because for Ontario, they want you to have your immigration papers. Officially, I don't understand what is immigration got to do with their nursing requirements, but they won't issue Ontario you any license until you provide them either a work permit or you provide them your permanent residence or citizenship. Officially, to get these things is not easy. You get my point? To get a work permit, you need a job offer. To get a job offer, you need a nursing registration. So this is why, for me, I was unable to get the license for Ontario. Although Ontario was my number one. I really wanted to be in Toronto. But anyway, I'm happy. I'm in BC and I'm happy, especially for the weather. Yeah. So this is what I'm talking about, guys. So, but talking about that, I want to talk about the financial aspect of it, because as I already said, to open your account with IEN'S, that's money. To open an account with IGA, that's money. But sometimes you cannot avoid it. It's unavoidable because some colleges, they want them both. So you can't run away from it, right? But what I saw, guys, official, I want to share with you, and please, please, please take advantage of this, okay? I see that BC, that's where I am, they don't do IEN'S. You directly open an account with IGA, Inspire Global Assessment. IGA does your assessment against both your knowledge and your skills, and then they will give BC your report. So if really this is the case, I would advise you to grab this opportunity. When I did mine, I started with IEN'S. After IEN'S, I went to IGA, both of them. So really, if BC have made this, a change, it's amazing. Thank you, BC. It's really gonna make a huge difference, especially financially, because really it's a lot of money to open all these things. It really is not easy, guys. It's not cheap, especially if you're doing it outside, Canada, and you're working, let's say, in South Africa, the exchange rate is different and all that stuff. You are gonna feel it in your pocket. So, but it's worth it. It's really worth it at the end of the day. So, but please grab this opportunity. Grab BC. But the only dilemma I saw when I was reviewing is only BC that does not use IEN'S. Others, all of them, you still need to start with IEN'S. So, but I will still encourage you to give it a try. So, meaning that it will just be BC province that you're going to be doing. Because the others, like the Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, you still need to do IEN'S. They also use IGA for the skills part. You still need to start with IEN'S. So this is where I find that it's quite like a dilemma with the provinces, but I would encourage you. Give it a try, see how BC takes you. If somehow, maybe BC, you find that somehow you are not progressing, then you can maybe later go to IEN'S. But at the same time, I don't want you to delay the process. I don't know, guys, but I'm just excited with the fact that you can do this process without going to IEN'S. I feel like, because you're already, like, if you're starting with IGA, this is step 2 of what it used to be. Okay, that is only for BC. Okay, but if you're interested, you want to go to College of Nurses of Ontario, you want to go to New Brunswick, you want to go to Nova Scotia, you want to go to Alberta, you have to start with IEN'S. And anyway, what you can also do, if you have already started, you have already created your account, you've already paid your fee, you can also email, BC and inquire and say, hey, I've already started my application, I've opened my account. Would you accept a report from IEN'S, rather than just, going to IGA? You can always communicate with them and see how they can assist you, because they are very supportive. They supported me, they will support you. That I can I can attest to that. So that is interesting, guys. And guys already said, I just need to drink something. My throat is getting dry, the flu, sometimes it takes a while to fully recover. Yeah, okay, I'm back. So what I wanted to talk about the zoning. I see that, the College of Nurses of New Brunswick, Alberta, and recently BC, I see that now they've created some zones, like they categorize the countries, either zone or group or whatever, but it goes according to your country of origin. So this is a good thing on the other side, because it means that there is a specific pathway for that particular country, because they do understand the education system, the registration system, so they know what is missing or what we need to fulfill in order for us to meet the Canadian, requirements. So, like for instance, for New Brunswick, they've got zones. It's like zone 1 to zone 5. But for us, South Africans, we fall under zone 5. This is whereby there's other. Okay, and this is the part I want to talk about, because even with Alberta, with BC, There's no name for South Africa. Come on, we need to see our name, guys. I'm inviting all of you, internationally educated nurses, South Africans. We need to see South Africa there. We must have a zone. Either zone 5, zone 6, whatever, but we need to have this zone. It's only us, nobody else who's going to create that zone. The more we apply, the more, we request for registration, then they will, create a zone for us, because they will be working with our nursing colleges in South Africa, our university in South Africa, South African Nursing Council. Then they will understand. They will say, there is South African, that's your pathway, because they know what you to expect and all that, and our differences in education, differences in curriculum, and all those things. So please, guys, we needed to create that. Okay, our name must be there. We shouldn't be other. Guys, we are not other. We are South Africans. Okay? If there is zone 1 for UK, zone 2 for let's say US, I'll make an example. We must have our zone. We are not other. I'm not happy with that. Are you? I don't think so as a South African. No, we are South Africans, guys. We can't fall under others, right? We should have our zone. So I'm encouraging you, okay? Make sure that in few years come, those coming behind us, okay? Those following in our footsteps, we're going to create that zone for them so that it's easy for the nursing colleges, so that they will have a consultant dealing specifically with South Africans. Oh, that will be, oh my goodness. Oh, I wish I lived to see that, okay? Once I open the college, South Africa under that zone. I so wish, I hope this is going to happen in our lifetime, okay? And nobody can do that except us, right? Nobody can do that, okay? So having said that, guys, I think it's enough for today. So I know it's a lot of information, confusing at times, so not sure what to do, but it is doable. It's very, very, very doable. So as I already said, you can always drop in, inbox me, whatever thing, not clear, you want more information, more clarity, reach out. So I think enough for today. Other than that, okay, stay well, stay safe, and stay warm. Bye.